It may be difficult to determine if your partner is using you, especially when you have strong feelings for her. Some people may be good at convincing, but there are some indicators that can help you figure out the truth. Men often believe that the more they invest in a girl, the more she will appreciate and love them. Sadly, even though you could be spending a lot of money on her and giving her all the attention in the world, it doesn't mean she feels the same. That's why you must learn the signs she's using you. Being used is no fun. It can be really devastating once you realize someone you care about doesn't feel the same for you and all they're doing is using you. Reading women can be really tricky. While she may have made you believe she loves you, she might as well just be using you for her own benefits. And there can be a variety of things on her mind. She may want to live a high life. She loves the things that money can buy and finds it acceptable to use you for your money, and by being with you, she will get to enjoy all your privileges. Or some girls like to be the center of attention, and the attention she receives from you is a huge ego boost for her. Such people love having someone around to give them the attention they want. She may use you to make her ex jealous. She wants to flaunt you in front of her ex to prove she has moved on. And she might be using you for affection, gifts, or even for something as simple as dinner dates. It's a sad truth, but it happens all the time. That's why you should watch for these signs, and if you see a combination of quite a few of them, then she might be using you. Here are 13 signs she's using you. 1. She makes you pay for everything. Every time you go out with her, you end up paying for everything and you always pick up the tab when you go on a date with her. And if you go shopping, you pay for her clothes. And whenever you go on trips, you pay for the tickets. She may even ask you to pay her phone bills and give you lame excuses. While it's okay to pay for your girlfriend sometimes, you should remember that a relationship is a partnership, and the two of you should be on an equal level. If you have been paying all her bills until now, it is a clear sign she is using you for your money. She treats you like an ATM, and she expects you to pay for everything, and it has to go her way all the time. Pay attention to her behaviors when you go out with her. If she is just using you, every time you're out with her, she will demand valuable things. She will tend to order the most expensive item on the menu, like the most expensive glass of champagne or the most expensive bottle of wine, the most expensive clothing, and so on. Because she knows you're the one that is going to pay, and she couldn't care less if you went bankrupt for her. This becomes even clearer when she wants you to pay for her friends. If you go out with her friends, and then she asks you to pay for the entire group, it is a pretty obvious sign that she doesn't respect you and is taking advantage of your generosity. 2. She blames you for everything and never apologizes. Everyone does something wrong sometimes. You apologize and move on. However, if she never apologizes for her mistakes, it's a good sign that she might be using you. She doesn't take responsibility for her actions. This goes for anything, nothing is ever her fault. She always tries to blame you for everything. She never admits that she is wrong, and she doesn't even say sorry. This is an indicator she doesn't value you or the relationship. She may even use tears to change the situation, and it always ends up with her crying and you comforting her, even if it was her fault. Playing the victim and guilt-tripping are classic signs of a manipulator. 3. She does everything on her terms. When a woman is using you, she will do everything on her terms. She is only interested in doing things that are convenient and pleasing to her. She will discard your opinions and do things that make her happy without caring about your happiness. If she wants to go to a specific place for dinner, she will demand to go there. Even if you offer to do something nice, like taking her to a classy restaurant or someplace fun, it will never be good enough, and she will suggest an alternative. And her suggestion is often something much more expensive. She doesn't consider the gestures you make, and if you decline her suggestions, she might even get upset. She will be hesitant to hang out when you suggest something, but eager when she wants to go somewhere, like a big concert or a new club opening that she wants you to pay for. Essentially, it's all about what she wants, never what you want. 4. She demands expensive stuff. Most girls do want gifts and vacations. This is normal. What isn't normal is when you have a girlfriend who has never-ending demands and expects expensive items beyond your means. A girl who is interested in your money will demand expensive gifts from you, and she will not feel happy with small romantic gifts like flowers, and will expect you to buy her expensive and branded items. And she will make you feel guilty or bad about yourself for not giving her what she wants. She would be the sweetest girl you have ever met when you give her what she wants, but when you don't give her the things she asked for, she will be mad at you for weeks and become a completely different person. She may even use sex as a reward for expensive items, and at this point, you're basically exchanging sex for expensive gifts. And that's a sign she's taking advantage of you for a lifestyle she can't afford on her own. 5. She's never there when you need her. There are times when you turn to your partner for consolation and support, but she's always unavailable. Even when you are not well, she doesn't offer to take care of you. She might send you caring messages, but she doesn't personally come and help you, and all you get from her are excuses. And when you vent to her about something, she doesn't pay attention, changes the topic, or tells you to stop complaining. However, if she wants to vent or needs help, she expects you to listen to her problems patiently. She may even call you in the middle of the night if she needs you, but somehow, she's always busy when you want someone to talk to. The conversations with her are always about her, and you never get the chance to discuss your problems. She's always talking about her problems and what's happening in her life, but doesn't care about what's happening in yours. This is an obvious sign that she doesn't really care about you, and she's using you emotionally. She needs someone to listen to her constantly, and she's using you as a free therapist. 6. She doesn't make efforts to get to know you. She shows absolutely no interest in your life. It is only about her all the time. She doesn't care about your interests, your family, your friends, or your hobbies. She doesn't ask you questions to get to know the real you. She doesn't care very much about you as a person, and you always have to volunteer details about yourself. And these small details are very important when it comes to relationships. But she doesn't even remember the small details about you. Ask her questions about the conversations that you've had in the past and see if she remembers important details about you. The mind tends to remember information it considers important, or which it believes will be useful at a later time. So if she genuinely likes you, she will remember information about you effortlessly, because she genuinely cares about you. 7. There's no affection. Unless you're in the bedroom, she doesn't display any signs of affection. When you're out in public or talking to each other one-on-one, she's cold and there's no physical contact or sweet words exchanged between you. She never spends the night and she never has any intimate conversations with you after sex, and there is also hardly any cuddling. And she might leave right after and only contact you late at night when she wants sex. This is a huge red flag and an obvious sign that she's using you for sex. 8. She avoids serious conversations. Your conversations are only superficial. You don't really get into an intense conversation or anything that makes you feel emotionally connected to her. You'll talk about general topics, but nothing that will make her open to you emotionally. She doesn't talk about anything personal going on in her life, and she always avoids talking about your relationship or how she feels about you. You may bring this up several times, but she will continue to avoid this conversation. She might even avoid all personal questions in general. This implies she doesn't take you or the relationship seriously, and she doesn't want to deal with any important issues surrounding the relationship. 9. When you say what you need, she makes you feel like a bad person for it. You may be catching on to the fact that you're not getting what you want out of the relationship, and your needs aren't being met, so you try to approach her and tell her how you feel. But instead of her understanding, she points the finger at you and she calls you selfish for only wanting sex and intimacy. She may also tell you that you're not providing for her if you're low on money, and you never seem to say or do the right things. However, the beauty of real love is the way the other person lets you express yourself and your feelings in the way you want. But if you feel like she's never happy with what you say or do, and always makes you feel guilty about expressing yourself, and turning your own needs against you, it's one of the major signs she's using you. 10. She is curious about your paycheck. This is one of the clearest signs she's using you. She's obsessed with your income, and she's always asking how much money you make. She's more interested in how much you earn than who you are. And she's usually a great listener when it comes to your bank account and financial status, because that's one of the major reasons she's with you. She's trying to find out if you make lots of money because she wants you to buy her everything she wants. She wants to live lavishly at your expense while she never contributes anything. 11. She's always slow to reply to you. Whenever you text or call her, she is always slow to reply or doesn't reply to you at all, unless it benefits her in some way. And she will give you a lot of excuses for why she didn't reply to you. It's okay if it happens every once in a while. But if she always takes hours to reply, it's obvious that she doesn't really care about you, and that's simply because she's just keeping you around for what she wants. 12. She cancels plans at the last minute. Everyone has to cancel sometimes, but if she always gives you excuses for canceling on you at the last minute, it is pretty clear that she is not really interested in you. If she's constantly canceling plans, it means she doesn't value your time. Similarly, if she constantly wants you to change your other plans, she's basically saying she doesn't care about what you value. This behavior is completely unfair to you and the effort you are trying to put into the relationship. And in such a relationship, you'll always be the one to make compromises. 13. Her demeanor changes if she wants something. One of the easiest ways to tell that something is wrong in your relationship and that you are potentially being used is to notice the inconsistencies in how she interacts with you. When she wants something, she is friendly, outgoing, or even flirtatious. But when it comes down to when you want something, like going on a date or being physically intimate, her entire demeanor changes, and she seems disinterested or even repulsed. If you start picking up on this, you probably have a lot to offer, and she's taking advantage of it without giving you any real appreciation. Thanks for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more.